down is it is just super
Why
annoying.
hasn't it been fixed?
No.
It's been a problem since that map has existed. And it was a problem before. I remember when the Galleon, when having two Galleons in the match would was guaranteed this to cause slowdown at some point. I guess because all the components on the ship or something have to be processed individually or some silly reason like that. But we will be getting into this match between Mad Hatters and the Sword on Battle on the Dunes. Daniel, would you like to do the red team?
For the Mad Hatters once more, we have the Queen of Crows, a goldfish, a butcherfish, piloted by Rhythm Caminate and Gathering Front, and of course the Watcher on the front. And this time not another goldfish, but a Parmesan, the Carrot Faithful, Artemis Carinate, Parmesan, piloted Princess Tutu with Flamer Flare on the side.
And on the Sword, the blue team, we have Molisima's Rupture, piloted by NH Barrett. It is a squid with a Gatling front, right side Banshee, and a rear flare gun. Their ally, the Geesebane, piloted by Sammy BT, Black and Pies, out sick today, I suppose. They're flying Watchfish with the left side flare gun and right side flamethrower.
This time no Galleon Shanka combination.
Well, these teams did agree. They kind of had a handshake agreement to brawl on Dune, so I suppose Galleon was out of the question.
Oh, you can do Brawling Galleon.
Brawling Galleons are bad. Come on.
No, not
Come
you
on,
can. This
Daniel.
is the only gun you can do harpoons on. That would be all. And the Watcher gets all
Yeah,
against the Carrot Faithful. No disables though. Although the
yeah,
Watcher is
I'd like
disabled.
to see a Galleon fighting with that squid. I'd like to see how that goes.
Oh, this isn't hard. Just Watcher them once and
Yeah, it looks like Face Roll's going to be following the Geesebane. Queen of Crows actually going to come up behind the Molisima's Rupture. Watcher Barrage coming in, taking out two of the squid's engines. Not a full disable, which is probably what they're looking for because the Carrot Face Roll is continuing to take damage. That side gun on the Rupture, the Banshee, actually doing a reasonable amount of damage.
yeah, Banshees. They're not the optimal kill gun, but when kept up consistently, they are going to kill. Oh my god, the Squid's armor died to the Watcher and everything is disabled.
Oh
Jesus.
wow, yeah, squid armor going down. What a surprise. It has
To
so
buff the
little
Squid
to
armor.
begin with, but looks like Eastbane's going to leave the face roll and going to, I guess, help their ally with the Queen of Crows. Face roll, interestingly enough, it has kind of the only, I mean, the Banshee on the Molisima's Rupture, it has decent range, but the Artemis on the front of the Carrot face roll, the only medium long range weapon that's gonna take, it's going to really come into play here.
But the one
Flame.
thing is going to be used in long range. But
Well,
it's
you
doing a
see, like
decent
when
job.
when these one of the blue ships, like if they start changing targets and they leave the Pyramidion on their own, Pyramidian's still going to be able to get some fire in as they're rushing away. Actually, Queen of Crows caught a little high here. Molisima's Rupture doing a little bit of a tricky maneuver, dropping down, catching the Carrot face roll with the Gatling gun. Face roll managing to keep their armor up. A nice hydro. Now we have a Watch of Fire coming in from the Queen of Crows, hitting the Molisima's Rupture. Not taking out any of the guns though.
Although the
But
armor does die.
yeah, and a little bit of a light carronade fire from the Carrot face roll, damaging the balloon of the Rupture. Quattro Barrage taking the armor down, and now the Molisima's Rupture is totally disabled. A little bit of a bump.
And
Ooh.
Cabinet gets the kill.
Yeah, Geese been a little late with the Watcher reload. Unfortunately, and not a very good disable either, even with that shot. Geesebane needs to get the hell out of here because they're not going to be able to get this kill. Although I'm not sure how, with the Carrot face roll now taking out their balloon, they're probably not going to be able to escape.
How about uh, oh my god. Just grinding out with the balloon destroyed, the armor loses, and how about the armor just shooting at the exposed hull. Yep. And they're actually in the dark spawn, I believe. So
Yes,
we
they
should
are.
be having an engagement soon the second the ducks spawn back in, and they just... Where are they going to spawn?
What do you think went wrong in that engagement for the Ducks? Because it looked pretty even at the start, but I mean, the squid. I guess the squid was not able to stay alive. Was not able to abuse its maneuverability to dodge those Hwacha shots.
Um, the squid didn't. Yeah. I don't know actually. Just
Like that's the thing, kind of this thing about the squid, right? You have to keep darting around because if they get you locked down, if they take out some of your engines and kill your mobility, the squid's not a very strong ship. It can't hold up to sustained fire in the way that some of these others can. And then the Geesebane, unable to really effectively get kills on their own, they're going to be left alone. So this is just another situation where we're seeing this Hwacha fish not
I guess it was
going
the
well.
Geesebane didn't get the Hellwatcher shot it needed because it was disabled by the carrot face wall, and the Queen of Crows was disabling the squid kind of and then killing the squid. Well, the Geesebane could just stood there and watch the squid die. But now it gets nice to watch. It's on the exposed engine of the Queen of Crows and actually just voiced the whole.
Yeah, actually, Geesebane pushing the Queen of Crows towards the Rupture, although the Rupture's choosing to peel off and go for the carrot face roll with a little bit of Gatling fire. Geesebane now losing their balloon, having to drop down. Carrot face roll is going to get up behind them. A little bit of a downward bump. But they're not too damaged and actually managed to stay high enough to get a nice Hwacha hit on the Queen of Crows, taking out some engines. I believe not taking out the front gun, however. Although probably damaging it a bit, slowing its reload. And Molosima's Rupture now going back, Gatling fire on the Carrot Face Roll. Carrot Face Roll, pretty low damage at about third health. Carrot Face Roll burning Moonshine. Ooh, just
Geesebane just barely dodging that ram from the carrot face wall. Could have thrown
yeah,
him
Face
into the
Roll just
ground.
kind of like scraped over the top of the Geesebane with that Moonshine. Not enough, I guess, downward thrust to kind of to crush them against the ground. And now the Carrot Face Roll is kind of left out. He has to deal with this squid by himself. Although the Queen of Crows will be engaging the squid shortly, so Molosima's Rupture manages to get the kill with the Banshees. And now Queen of Crows. It's the reverse situation. We have the Hwacha Goldfish for the red team left on their own, and realistically, they're not going to be able to do anything with this.
Well, the watch of the Geesebane didn't actually manage to destroy any engines. So,
But they have
oh my god.
the sword has a squid. Like the goldfish is not going to be able to outmaneuver a squid. So there's no possibility of them getting away.
They could have watched the squid. But now they're losing the engines against the Geesebane.
For sure. I mean that's the problem with the watch in these 2v1 engagements. As they take a bunch of fire, Gatling coming in, Banshee coming in, finishing them off. The Hwacha fish, once they're left on their own, they're just not able to get fast enough kills. They can only realistically disable one of the enemy ships with that Hwacha because it has that 14 second, very long reload. So it's difficult to keep two ships effectively disabled with a Hwacha fish.
Yeah, sometimes you can, with burst ones, you can shoot one ship, destroy its engines, and then carry on to the next ship with somewhat half of the clip left and damage them, or even also disable both their team's engines, but that rarely happens actually. When you manage to do that just because the ships are out of position or something.
I'm looking at the Geesebane here, looking at their crew setup. They actually have 3 engineers. They have Steel King with burst, and then Ilmatar and Gorath with heavy. So I'm wondering if they're actually trading off with their engineers. I'm gonna watch this ship for a little bit. If they're actually changing based on which ammo type they have. Because having this triple engineer setup, it does give you it gives you a little more repairability, and it does give you access to a second buff hammer, which can be pretty significant in, keeping everything nice and golden, particularly the front gun.
Yeah, buff the Vulture with... well, you don't really need it on the burst Vulture, but a heavy clip, when you use heavy clip on the Vulture, then the buff could really make a difference. Because sometimes you empty an entire Vulture clip on some front guns and they don't get disabled, and with the buff would disable it.
Yeah, 20% bonus damage is a lot of damage. You know, particularly I think in pub matches, this is something a lot of newer pilots underestimate just how powerful the buff hammer is. Like if your ship is fully buffed, like it's just better in every way.
Yeah.
It is such a huge advantage. And the Ducks, historically, they've been very buff heavy. I think they almost always fly with double buff, triple engineer. So that's something they believe as well.
This grid also has two buff hammers, of course. Just wanted super mobility, I believe. The Matters have reached the dark spots out, and they are kind of far away though. Because they want to wait for the Artemis to do the necessary disable, and then charge in.
Yeah, definitely going to be aiming to take down the Geesebane's Hwacha. Mostly was Rupture actually taking a little bit of a bump.
Oh my
And
god.
some Hwacha hits actually some surprise damage on the Rupture, knocking out their own whole armor. But now the Queen of Crows, they're going to move in. Looks like Eastbane's going to split off and take out the enemy Goldfish, while Molosimo's Rupture's going to focus on the Pyramidion. Pyramidian's probably going to be the easier of these two ships to kill, and also the more effective in a solo situation. So they want to make sure to take out the face roll first. Gatling coming in. Molosimo's Rupture actually not doing much in this fight. Geesebane taking a ton of disabling fire from the light Carronade and Artemis of the face roll. Balloons down. They're trying to keep their engines up. Ruptures dropping down, trying to re-engage the face roll, trying to stay at the Queen of Crows Hwacha arcs. Gatling coming in. Geesebane taking a lot of damage. Face roll getting a nice bump. Geesebane's gonna tank. They have two on the whole armor. Gorath working on engines as the Molosimo's Rupture is actually able to distract the face roll long enough for Geesebane to pull off the ground, but now Molosimo's Rupture, they're taking damage themselves.
Oh my
Hwacha
god.
coming in. Oh. Hwacha just barely able to finish off the squid. Now Geesebane left on his own. He is a Hwacha fish, so
He's about just instantly disabled the second it was revoked. Oh my god.
yeah, the light Carronade from the Carrot face roll, just they don't care about the balloon. They're just continuing to make sure that that front gun stays down.
And it's interesting to see this going on because the Darks and the Matters have basically done the same thing in all three engagements. Have the Squid go for the face wall, have the Queen of Crows go for the Squid, have the Geesebane go for the Queen of Crows, and the Carrot is just going for the Geesebane, and just in all three engagements the Matters won twice and the Darks won once. It's very interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of that also has to do with this being on dunes. Although we actually have a fairly close spawn from blue team. Looks like the Mad Hatters, they've predicted this spawn point in the top left corner of the map. So they're actually already moving into position. Although Queen of Crows is a little far behind, or a little far ahead of their ally.
Yeah, they're pulling back. They got to watch it a little bit and they just retreat in order to have his ally go in and take the first hits, I think.
Carrot Festro is pretty heavily damaged, so if the Rupture could potentially get a quick kill with the Gatling into buffed Banshee. Let's see if the Face Roll's armor manages to go down. Nope.
The Gatling takes forever long to just for this palm reading for some reason. Oh my.
Face Roll's armor goes down. Face Roll trying to Hydra up, but not gonna work. They're already pretty close to the height ceiling, and Rupture does manage to secure the kill with those Banshees. And now, like, it's weird. This game is so back and forth, and I think that's specifically because of these Hwacha fishes. Both teams are trying to focus the Hwacha fish's ally to leave the Goldfish on their own, and then that results in 2 kills for them. So they're just kind of trading 2 kills back and forth.
No, the Geeseman is actually oh my god, the Queen of Crows loses balloon because of the ram and armor, and the ship's going to die. Yeah, the Geeseman is actually focusing the Queen of Crows with its watches so it can't disable the Squid. So the Squid ally can actually just avoid a power meeting with the Gatling Banshee. Oh my god. Because it's easier to kill the power meeting with Gatling Banshee than They watch a fish which could actually shoot back at you and completely disable you everything.
So now with the game tied up, both teams on match point, I imagine this is going to be real tense now because no longer is this a situation where one ship's going to be left on their own to fight. Now the first kill means the end of the game. So I wonder if we're going to see the same dynamic with the teams splitting off in the way you were describing, or if both these teams are going to try to dual focus one of the enemy ships and try to get a quick kill.
Yeah, I think the ducks could actually fall double focus firing the Parmesan. Just because if the Parmesan destroyed, the Queen of course can only disable the squid, and well, the squid is gonna be quicker bolt than the Parmesan, who has, if it's going to be put out of position due to how much disable, it has to take forever to turn around, but the squid could just still move up and down very easily to dodge more of a shot and then get its Gatling to the Parmesan and you know, stuff.
In the sword, they're going to be looking for kind of a closer initiation, probably near some of this terrain, because they don't want the Artemis on the carrot face roll. They don't want that influencing the start of the fight, because if it manages to take down the Hwacha, that's going to be a significant advantage for red team.
I'm not sure actually. The carrot face roll has this entire game been disabling the geese burn, and it's just, I don't know. But
yeah, we see some Artemis
shooting.
shots. Yeah,
Yeah.
you see the Artemis shots coming in, but they're not hitting the Hwacha. They're kind of landing mid-ship on the blue goldfish and not disabling anything, which is unfortunate.
And of course the blue goldfish shot back with the watch against the enemy Artemis to negate that earlier disable advantage. And they're still shooting back at the Parmesan.
Yeah, red team, they don't want to start this fight yet. They're actually backing out a little bit. But sword, maybe they're trying to bait the blue team in. Just if their positioning has changed a little bit, maybe try to throw off the angle that the sword comes in at, or just get a little more time with that Artemis. And they actually have a bit of open space here before the Molosseum's rupture is going to be able to get any of their guns into effect, so they can go to town with the rocket launcher. Molosseum's rupture actually using a little bit of Hydro to dodge those Artemis shots. He's going to be coming in high. Queen of Crows actually red team's rising to meet the squid.
Yeah, the sword is actually baiting out this goldfish by using the squid went a little bit forward, but the second the goldfish went forward, the squid pulled back, and the goldfish kind of chased it a little bit. And now they're being focus fired by both these blue team's ships.
And still, look, yeah, armor going down. Face rolls Artemis, it's still firing, but it's not hitting anything.
Carrot actually very low for some reason. Should be up
Yeah,
there
armor
and helping
coming
his
in.
ally.
Banshee coming in.
How much is? Oh, just it's 2 seconds late for that.
Yeah, just after the armor comes back up, not able to do any significant damage.
But
We got more Gatling. Yeah, the Gatling Banshee's gonna kill this squid eventually. Or sorry, kill this goldfish eventually, unless the face roll's able to take the squid out of the fight. I think that's the most important thing. The squid has the armor shredding. Goldfish does not have as much armor shredding. It's kind of on the side. The timing's gonna be a little bit more important. So actually, if the Pyramidian's able to keep, well, I was gonna say if they manage to keep the squid in check, they could potentially give their ally enough time to recover, but they're unable to. The combination of the Gatling and the Banshee finishing off the red goldfish, and it looks like the Ducks will continue undefeated with their 7th win in Goyle League.
Yeah,